Why is it that situations involving violence, blood, and tension always attract people more? A group of people walking down the street see two people fighting fist to fist. They stop what they are doing and watch the fight intently. Or, after a serious accident, everyone gathers at the scene out of curiosity. No one can do anything because the accident has already happened, but people still want to see how the victims died and the horror of the accident. I did a search on Playboard and found that one of the most watched YouTube videos in the United States are the most gruesome car accident videos. This is not something that is unique to today. Years ago, people gathered to watch gladiator fights. They would watch big and strong men tearing each other to pieces with various implements, and they would burst out laughing. And what is the reason for this? There is a name for it: morbid curiosity. Morbid curiosity is a type of human curiosity about frightening situations such as fear, pain, or death. This curiosity often manifests itself as an interest in unpleasant, frightening, or disturbing subjects. The biggest examples of this today are horror movies, horror games, and serial killer documentaries. Horror movie franchises such as the Saw and Halloween series have been on the tip of people's tongues for years and are highly appreciated by the masses. However, the extreme point of the situation comes with serial killer series and documentaries.
Who am I speaking with?
This is the Zodiac speaking.
Have you ever had a friend say this line to you in a cool way? This famous line is from the 2007 movie Zodiac. Zodiac is a very famous serial killer who operated in the United States in the late 1960s, killing 7 people officially and 37 unofficially. His fame was such that books and movies were made in his name. In addition to his murders, the Zodiac Killer distinguished himself from other serial killers by sending coded letters to police and newspapers. In his letters, the Zodiac addressed the public and warned that he would kill more people every second the police did not catch him. Many videos were edited by people to show how cool the Zodiac Killer was. People were fascinated by the way the Zodiac toyed with the minds of his victims and the cops who tried to catch him, and they thought the Zodiac was so cool. So let's take a moment and put ourselves in the shoes of one of the Zodiac's victims. You and your lover have gone for a nice walk in the woods, and you are happily on your way. Just as everything is going well, a masked man with a gun and a symbol appears and shoots your lover in the head, killing her. Then you can't do anything and wait for your turn. What happened? Is Zodiac still cool? Being the victim himself deflates the Zodiac Killer's appeal. So why, despite knowing all this, do we still watch these TV series and movies with great interest? The main reason why we are so interested in these violent and tragic events is to prepare ourselves for such a negative situation. This interest always reminds us that life is not all rosy and that there are such dangerous events in life. For example, a person who sees on the news that a young man was attacked in a deserted street at night will be more cautious and hesitant to face such a negative situation in the future. He would prefer to walk on streets with more people or not go out too much at night. He has a better idea of whether the people they meet are creepy or not. We do this in every aspect of our lives. We often think about the worst case scenario that could happen to us in a situation, and we make escape plans in our minds about what we could do if such a problem arose. In addition, according to a study, women watch such crime, brutality, and murder series much more than men. This is a proof of the human mechanism of preparing for danger, as I just mentioned. Women are attacked on a daily basis much more often than men, and this may help them prepare for these attacks to some extent. Although too much of this sense of curiosity can be harmful, too little can be a bigger problem. Lately, we've started to demonize even cute things, and horror games are at the forefront of this genre. There are many horror games that I can give examples of. For example, there's Can Your Pet. It's a short game where we can feed, dress, and play with a cute little chick. Everything seems very normal, but if you want to ride a bike with your chick, it's not very pleasant. Or another example, Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. In the game, we enter a mansion, and to get out of it, we have to visit all 1,000 rooms of the mansion one by one. The game has a very cute atmosphere, and the creatures that come out to scare us at the beginning of the game are quite cute. but as the number of rooms increases, things don't get much sweeter. Games like Doki Doki Literature Club, Dreaming Mary, and Aversion fit this description quite well. With these horror games, game developers evoke opposing ideas in players. After all, the idea of something being sweet and scary at the same time is not really compatible. The sudden disruption of a sweet and peaceful atmosphere creates an uncomfortable feeling. The emotional contrast makes the fear more effective because the viewer or actor feels a sudden threat in an environment where they feel safe. It takes a person out of their comfort zone and makes them feel tense. These horror games do that really well, and it makes you even more intrinsically attracted to horror and brutality. The culmination of this sense of curiosity can spread brutality around the world. The 3-part Netflix mini-documentary Don't F with Cats chronicles the mind-boggling atrocities committed by a murderer named Luca Magnotta, who emulates the killers in the movies he watches. After Luca Magnotta made a video, the details of which I won't go into, the entire internet came together to find this murderer. Luca Magnotta killed a 33-year-old Chinese student before being captured. Luca Magnotta was eventually caught in Berlin. This incident shows once again how our excessive interest in brutality can have dire consequences. But the point where it all comes together is death, the end of everything. Death is something that none of us want to think about too much, because thinking about death too much takes away the joy of living. But the horror movies, serial killer series, and other negative content that we watch constantly remind us that death exists and can come at any time. Remembering the existence of death when we think of a close friend with whom we are angry makes us softer toward him. Because if your friend dies while you are angry with him, you will be completely separated while you are angry with each other, and that is one of the worst things that can happen. I tried my best to give you some ideas about the topic of our video. I hope you liked the content I prepared. What do you think about the topic? I am waiting for your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more. See you soon.